And we're back with some more oxygen not included. And today we're going to be, well, trying to exploit this geothermal heat pump. Now, I've been looking around and trying to, I was meant to do a bunch of research on the weekend, but unfortunately that fell through due to issues. But I believe to remove this geovent block, we have to pump something through that's hotter than lead. That might be a while in the future. I think we're going to have to hold off on that on the grounds that we just want to get power. What we want to do is get power hooked up before our power supply runs out. Also, it would be nice not to be dumping CO2 everywhere, though this place has actually calmed down quite a bit since we stopped, well, burning so much resources making steel. Which reminds me, we should burn a bunch of resources making steel. Yeah, we're going to need to put down an aqua tuner at some point. Once these steam turbines start running, we're going to need to use that. Also, oh, 1 second. New printables. What do we got? You know, I wasn't going to hire anyone, but this pond's looking great. Excavation and suit wearing are perfect, and the machinery with grease monkey on top of it makes them perfect. Unpracticed artist, decreases creativity, increases decor morale bonus. Increases decor morale bonus. Okay. So they're going to get a huge bonus from decor being good. Right, in that case. Please welcome Extra Anion. You know what? Doesn't matter. Extra's here. Extra. Print them all about it. Anyway, we'll get them printed out. We need to get them into a gym. Namely because they're going to be useless. They're just not going to have stats. Oh, yeah, we should also make them a warm coat. In fact, just get us 8 warm coats. We're going to be hiring more duplicants. We might as well just start printing them out. And we need to put a gym together. Probably, I think here should be fine. Though I think we're going to want to make sure that the tiles up here are made of something that is resistant to melting. So we're going to replace all those with wood tiles. In fact, we're going to do the same above. I think wooden tiles, people have been advising me to use wood tiles for ages because they give a nice decor bonus and they look kind of pretty, so we'll give them a shot. That will be a nice, neat little gym. We could squish in an extra one if we got rid of that deodorizer. I'm just not willing to do it. We shouldn't have... Oh, I'm probably not going to hire 7 duplicants that quickly. Or 8, I should say. That'd be the only problem, is if we hired 8 really quickly and the first one hadn't cycled out of the gym. Alright, we'll come back in a bit once that's finished. That might take a while, though, because we have priority build orders down here to get this done. Reason being is I want to turn this into a liquid lock. I want to use that to dig down in here and give us more space. We want to tack on about 5 to 7 steam turbines on top of this so we can do some experimentation. And we want a nice area to... Actually, nope, get rid of that. And we want a nice area to do it in that's all vacuum sealed, because this stuff down here is 1100 degrees, and even with atmosuits, if you get if that heat gets at the atmosuits, it will cause problems. So we'll I'm going to give a try with using mercury down here. There we go. Mercury, thermally reactive. You know what? Give me a piece of mercury right there, and then I want to put that purity to a level 9. Thing is, mercury is a solid once you freeze it down cold enough, but at any reasonable temperature, the stuff is liquid, which means, well, we can get the solid stuff from up in space, bring it down here, chuck it in, and boom, it should melt immediately and make us a liquid lock. Actually, we might need 2 of them. Yeah, give us a second one. Okay. That's assuming it makes a second tile at over 1,000 kilos, which we're hoping. Oh, here we go. Now, you, mercury, minus 48.8, and you melt at minus 38.8. This may introduce a little bit of chill to this neighborhood, but that's fine. This place is warm enough, I think it can take it. I've also moved some of the, slicksters out of there. I didn't want the slicksters being up here because it's going to get pretty cold. Once we start cooling down these steam turbines, we're probably going to cool them so cold it's going to mess up the local environment, so moving some of the native fauna away might be an idea. Did that work? Yes, it did. Perfect. Now, how many kilos of mercury does it take to create a second tile here? This is a super convenient way to make a liquid lock. I mean, oh yeah, so long as the temperature there is above minus 38°C, you can quickly move a liquid lock there in liquid mercury form, and then it just melts, and it's got great vaporization point, 356. Good liquid lock, very portable, would work for volcanoes. It doesn't have quite the same temperature ranges as crude oil. Crude oil can go up to 399, but it's close enough that you really don't care, and the fact that it comes in solid form from space, super handy. Now, where are we? Yes, this gym. Are they almost finished on it? Nearly. Now, I've been kind of holding off on hiring duplicants. I'm trying to be picky and stuff like that, but it's just taking too long. I mean, it's not necessary to hold off on dupes, but it's just I wanted to be a little bit more picky about things, a little bit more, I don't know, discerning. But instead, I think I'm just going to go with the old school reliable method of hiring a butt ton of dupes as long as they're half decent. We need to go up to at least 18, if not 20 duplicates, if we want to get some real production going. And just things are a little bit slow on the build front, and I would like to change that. So for now, we're going to have to hook all of these up. We'll set these to priority 1 for the moment, just until they get finished. And, I should probably put a ladder in here. This area is about to become sealed off and inaccessible for a while. And also a lot warmer. Right. Only people we want coming in here are, well, duplicants in need of training. Actually, better idea might be... Yeah, let's make sure that only... Well, this is the longer way of starting it, but it should be the easier way once we get going. Anyone we hire will be able to access the gym automatically, and anyone from these guys down can't. So, extra non can get into the gym. They'll be allowed both in and out. We're going to copy those settings to all doors. This door here is going to allow everyone... Ooh. Okay, now, this one door will allow any that accidentally end up in there getting out, just in case someone falls through a roof or somehow ends up in there. Now, Extranon is the only one who should have access, and we're going to make their priorities, well... Wait, how did you end up in Ranching++? You know what? Doesn't make a difference. Oh yeah, I've put Ranching as maximum for everyone. Alright, now, where are you? Extranon is currently building a suit. You know what? No. We're going to make this a priority 9. All of these are priority 9. Yeah, okay. Finish the suit, then you can go up there. That means all of our newbies should pop up here immediately, hop on the manual generators, and this trains both athletics and it trains the machinery skill. It's the only action you can do, I believe, that trains 2 skills simultaneously. Down here, we are setting up... We just want to get this fired up so that we have 3 of these running, and then I think I want to run a power spine up to the top of the map. If we run a power spine made of lead all the way to the top of the map, we can feed off some power into our main base. And we could also plug in our atmosphere docks to the main grid as well down there. It would just, it would make me feel better and take the pressure off our ethanol supplies. Before we get on with this, I kind of want to just remove some of this junk in here. It seems to be dragging down the temperature of the steam because there's just so much mass in here of colder items. So I think removing them from the hot room is probably a good plan. A few sweepy bins out here, we'll dump everything in there, but it's really not about tidying the place, it's about keeping the heat in. And you can also go. Then I was going to expand it out and put in 5 turbines at least to start, but I think the best bet would be to extend the power line now. This is going to take a while. We're going to build a power line all the way up to the top of the map, and we're making it out of lead, so they're going to have to come down, grab the lead, and then build it all the way up to the top. This, this could take some time. You know what? Let's zoom it out here and see if we can't keep track of its production. This is taking a little time. We need more builders and more diggers just to get things done faster, considering the size of the projects I like to do. Let's see what we got here. Just looking at the dupes we do have, we already have a researcher. You're never going to need more than one researcher. You're never going to need more than one artist. They can do all of that stuff on their own. Cooks, you're probably going to need about 1 cook for every 12 to 16 people. Farmers, well, it depends how much farmer you're doing. Ranching, same again. But digging, building, and machinery. We definitely have a lot of machinists who do a side of building and digging, but the diggers and builders, I think we need 1 more digger and 1 more builder. This guy here, unfortunately, great excavation. Problem is undigging. Yeah, that didn't really help out too much. So this guy here, I'm thinking, okay, the cooking we're never really going to use, and the researching we're not going to really use in them. But that researching give them a 30% skill gain bonus, so they'll learn everything just a little bit faster, and they've got building. Plus they're frostproof. That kind of seals the deal. Yeah, I think we're welcoming our newest member here. Their name is Golden Master. Right. Well, welcome to the team, Golden Master. You are very welcome indeed. Golden Master shall not be allowed outside. Yeah, perfect. They shall be allowed into the training area. Actually, how's Extranon doing? They started off with, I think, a 1 in athletics and a 6 in machinery, and now they're up to a 7 in machinery, which is a 1 point gain, and a 1 in athletics. Well, okay. Oh, I need to change the priorities and scheduling. Well, just crank Golden Master up in machinery. They don't really need to have anything else going on for them. They're just going to go straight in here and start running on the generator until they're useful to us. I should also point out I've changed them over to 4 downtime slots. Reason being, going down to the oil biome is a long trip, and they need enough time to come back, use the bathroom, and eat their food before they go to bed. So giving them 4 downtime slots, which eats into our productivity, It is kind of necessary, otherwise they miss out on using the bathroom or eating, which results in accidents and or starvation warnings. All right, you guys do your thing. We want to see... Where is it? Yeah, we want to finish this out. So far, it's looking... Yeah, you can see here where they're building the stuff up closer to the top because they come down, they grab all the lead, and then build the stuff up here, and then they'll slowly work their way down until they've got it all connected up. Shouldn't take too much longer. That looks like one beautiful, continuous, heavy watt wire all the way from bottom to top of the map. All right, you. Let's just double check. Yep, went through here all the way up to here. And then we plug it into a few transformers. Right, you are all loaded. We are going to connect you to that section. Now let's check out this battery. Battery's at 18.2 kilowatts, kilojoules, or whatever, kilojoules. So it's up. It's now maxed out. So long as we keep this connected, this battery should never go down, which means this thing should never burn any of its reserve ethanol. But we can leave the ethanol generator connected just in case something goes horrifically wrong with our power generation down below. And then over here, we can connect that up. And that will plug it into this grid here, which is the core grid in our base, which does, you know, all the ranching, all the little automation stuff we've set up in here. So all of that will now be powered by the grid down below. And that is... Actually, we can double check by finding... Where's the battery? Ah, yes, you should now be maxed out. Excellent. Done. Unless the battery falls below 50%, that will not kick in. Unless this battery falls below 50%, that will not kick in. And that just leaves one more grid that's not plugged in, which is, unfortunately, all the way over this direction. And, what? There. Yeah. We'll connect it up that way, and that will make sure that that section over there is also plugged in, at which point all power will all be coming from downstairs. Now, we only have 3 steam turbines hooked up down here. So, yeah. However, we also have all the output from it going... okay, all of this comes into this one pipe, and it comes up here, gets chucked across the line, and goes up this direction. And all of this freshly recycled steam goes up here and gets dumped right back into the geothermal heat pump. Now, even if we drained every single last drop of steam out of here, it still would not fill this up. We'll still be always a little bit shy. So we're going to have to put in some automation later to make sure that when this starts to run too low, we pump in more water. That should be fairly handy to do. But what I'd prefer to do first is expand this out so we can run 5 of these steam turbines simultaneously, minimum. If we have 5 of these steam turbines here running, they can pull out 10 kilos of water per second, which we can dump into this machine through one of its ports. If we then do the same with all 3 of them, say 5 more here, 5 more there, we can have all 3 of them running continuously. We'll have... I think each one of these can output 15 kilos of steam, but I don't really care. I'm not trying to maximize the throughput here. What I'm trying to do is maximize the input. So if we have 5 steam turbines and all 3 of these, we can dump all the steam back in, throw in a little bit extra. Gives us a nice, solid, stable power supply. We will have to do a little bit of wonkiness to make this work, I think, just at first, but I think we can manage something quite reasonable. Our next set of potential recruits are... Nope, nothing we want. Suit-wearing, ranching, supplying. Not a single construction or digger in sight to even think about. Oh, I should probably choose something, shouldn't I? Yeah, give us the sense. So the pufflet eggs are just going to immediately die. All right, have we finished this off finally? I believe that is now hooked up. That battery is fully charged. Yes. All right, and you down here... pretty good. Nope. Why are you stalling out? Oh, steam turbines are overheating. Yes. This was something I needed to take care of, which is why I went upstairs to get some nectar chilled out. In fact, we should probably get that nectar and put it somewhere. I don't think we need a nectar for our next build, but I am going to quickly stick in a little storage container for it here. It's nice and chilled down here, and we'll just dump the nectar in here so we have it for later usage. We do want to empty the tank, so we're going to replace the bottom of it. All the debris falls out, and that should be done. Perfect. Then we just wall in that side, then we'll wall in the other, and just to make sure no one gets trapped, we'll put in a little ladder system. You know they're going to try and trap themselves. Might as well preemptively get ahead of that. I take it back. They actually didn't wall them. How are you confined? You muppet. You. Can we move you? I mean, they've already reproduced, but this just feels crueler than usual. Can someone move you? Nope. Nope, not an available errand. Well, yeah, this is a humane act or a duplicator, whatever. Oh! Fine. It's fine. We'll just grab the meat out, then we'll fill it up with nectar. Perfect. Nectar will get dumped down here. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Well, we kind of do. Duplicants will get trapped up here if they get caught in meteor showers. And it has been pointed out to me from the pipe overlay. Turns out these trees have piping. You can pipe the nectar out of them. That's way too useful. Now we just got to figure out a way to pipe a lot of that downstairs, or put it into a liquid tank or something. No. We're going to finish power, then we're going to come back here up here and do that. The nectar is useful, but I think we're far better off. Ooh, actually, are you being harvested? You are not being auto-harvested. Get your kid in here. You fool. Yep. See, we stuck down this carved lumen quartz, and it gives off enough light to get these things start to produce nectar. We could probably... Oh, I'm kind of tempted to plant those and play around with them, but for now, we need to get all the way to the bottom of the map and start digging in. We want to turn this thing into a nice little productive... Yeah, there... Oh. And I need to fill up this loop as well. This is going to be the cooling loop that'll cool down the steam turbines. Steam turbines are at 100 degrees. Temperature in here, a little toasty, but no problems. We have liquid pipe here. We can fill that on right there. We filled up this cooling loop with oil. In fact, that can now be deconstructed. The oil's dragged down the temperature around here just a little bit. And we have to put in a little bit of a pipe thermal sensor. I forgot to do that, but that's okay. Once the pipe thermal sensor goes in... Anyone? Perfect. You, if the temperature is above, we're going to say 70 degrees for now. You should turn on. You should... The temperature is definitely above 70 degrees. You're giving it the green light. Power is connected. Empty pipe. Right, I did that all the wrong, didn't I? Francis, you muppet. I put the liquid bridge above it and rather than below it. Okay, in my defense, it's been a while since I played Oni. Okay, you make mistakes all the time. Hell, that's 90% of what I do is making mistakes and then having to spend ages fixing them. Well, this is sort of very, very messy and I don't like it and I need to improve upon it immediately, if not sooner. The moment this gets excavated out. Still a little bit low on labour at the moment. There's been no good new recruits showing up either. What's happening here is these 3 steam turbines are powering our entire base. But at the same time, we also have to try and run this thermal aquatuner, which is trying to cool down these steam turbines. Unfortunately, that's a little bit difficult because we're only pumping oil in here. I should really upgrade this to polluted water or salt water or nectar or something along those lines. On the grounds that, well, the oil has such a low specific heat capacity that reducing its heat by a bit, it's not very energy efficient. I think I'm going to have to pump water in here, preferably polluted stuff, so that we can make this a little bit more energy stable, because right now it can barely afford to keep itself cooled. They keep running because we are providing effective cooling. It is cooling them down. It's just it's not quite hitting the target it's been set. So let's just make that 80 degrees. If we make that 80, this thing should stop flicking on and off so much. And over here, Chili Peeps is hard at work. Their job, clear out this entire area. Once you finish that, because they're the only person with super duper hard digging. So they're the only one who can dig out the abyssalite. They're the only one who can dig out anything that's in here. Oops. I think this thing started venting again. I wasn't even paying attention. That's okay. It just gives us more hot steam to work with. That's 230 degree hot steam. Oh. We should... Actually, you turn that off for a second. Yeah, we're going to have that water drop back down and cool this area off a little bit. So I was going to put in some automation to do that, but I got distracted by coring this out. Right, this is actually perfect. So what's going to happen is we're going to pump out, say, 90 seawater or 95 seawater out of this. Check here, it's 95 seawater. That 95 seawater will go in and get dumped into the geothermal heat pump. That means all the water in here will be, 95C or, 94 point whatever. Then this will add 150 degrees to it, meaning it's going to come out almost 250 degrees in here. Well, 249 and change, let's say. So at 249 degrees, the first thing we want to do is, if it's 249 degrees in here, all the steam from here will get dumped right back in. We don't want to be wasting dumping it into the geothermal generator. The thing is, once we go above 200 degrees, these steam turbines start becoming inefficient. So we're going to keep reverting the water back in here until it cools down. Then once it's cooled down to about 200 degrees, maybe a little bit over, then we'll start pumping it over here. And then that will start topping up the geothermal generator. And we'll have to do a little bit of shenaniganry with making sure the pressure in here doesn't get too low, and put in excess water from outside the system. This thing destroys a little bit of water every time, so we will have to keep topping it back up, and how we top it back up will be a little bit, well, it's going to be wonky. But then again, kind of knew it was always going to be wonky. One downside here is this is falling right down here, and it's a little bit uneven. I put in some temperature shift plates to help even it out, but I think what we'll do is put in an airflow tile there. Don't mean any drops that this will land on the airflow tile, evaporate here, and hopefully spread out that chill just a little better. Let's turn this off for the moment. Yeah, we got 80 kilos of pressure. This thing will overpressurize at 110 kilos, I think it is. It's about 110, 120 kilos. We can't go above that pressure in here. But hey, so long as we're getting power out of all of this, I suppose it really doesn't matter if there's some backup in the pipes. And that should... yeah, perfect. In that case, let's turn it on now. All that water should come down here. Much better. That should make sure that the cooling is a little bit more uniform to our batch of steam in here. All right. A little bit of building later. We're almost finished here, but a new printable has become available that I like the look of. Construction and digging are hell yes. Cuisine is unfortunate, but beggars can't be choosers. We've got a mole hands for +3 yokel, well, we don't care about. So we've got a new build digger. So Justin Simon will be going straight into training. Yeah, you're going to be going right up here to the manual generators. Where's the other two gone? Oh, they're standing right beside him. Anywho, machinery is at 11, athletics is at 5. I think last we checked that was a 2 and an 8. Could be wrong. And then over here we've got athletics at 4 and machinery at 6. You two are going up good. Once you get to athletics about 10, we'll let you outside. Normally you can hold out till 20 if you want, but we need some build diggers right about now. This stuff just takes way too long otherwise. So automation-wise, give me some automation wire here. What we're doing here is something very simplistic. Second, we're going to have these 2 extra steam turbines here. Their purpose will be to dump cold water in here, as in to recycle the steam in here until the temperature in here drops below 200 degrees. Once that happens, they'll shut off. These 5 here, their only purpose will be to, well, remove water from here and send it over to the geothermal. It's not going to be the most efficient setup, but it's what I want to start with until I've figured out the ins and outs of this and its little quirks. We'll probably shut down these 2 at a later date, and we'll work more with recycling the water, or dumping in extra water from outside to chill down the amount of steam in here to the prerequisite amount. This is where I should have put in the automation. This is down to 7 kgs of steam in here. That is bad. So we're going to hook up this pump here. We are going to want to start piping in water from, well, one of our vents, like probably somewhere over here. We do have a saltwater geyser here. That's a little bit close. It'd be messy. We might be able to make a liquid tank here, but it's going to be right beside our crude oil. I suppose we can pump it. We can pump it into some liquid tanks, maybe store it over here. Yeah, we'll have the power soon enough once this thing's optimized. How are you looking? You are automatically activated, and now this is doing its thing. And it's... oh! Before, those things used to pop out and splash everywhere, and now it just drops the items right on the ground. We got igneous rock, we got rust, we got salt and obsidian, and the pressure in here is rising. Excellent. Now, temperature in here is probably going to get a little bit hotter, so we're going to have all that water, instead of going out, come right back down. We're splitting it out so it drops each side. Yeah, that'll keep it nice and stable. And once we're topped... oh! Yeah, I forgot about this, didn't I? I'll automate this in a bit. Just trying to get the bits and bobs put together. Alright, we're almost there. First things first, we are going to hook that up to there and sever it off. That should cycle all of the crude oil out of the system. Crude oil just, it's very inefficient to put it through an aqua tuner in terms of cooling. It doesn't generate nearly as much cooling as putting through water or nectar or super coolant or any of that stuff. Now you can go there and slice it off. Now we need to hook this up pretty quick. We're going to put on just straight water. Water should be fine, and we'll make sure the water stays below, let's just make 40. That's going to cool down this area quite substantially, but it should be fine. What's the temperature like around here? Yeah, 70 degrees. It'll mess with the slicksters after a while. We'll move them into a warmer environment. How's this place looking? 214 degrees, and this has got about 8.5 tons left to vent. Oof. Yeah, it'll be fine. Temperature's still looking good. There we go. Perfect. It's going to drag down the temperature quite a bit. Absolute temperature, relative temperature. No, let's just stick with absolute. Yeah, it'll be fine-ish. Now, we got to hook up these other steam turbines, which should be fairly easy. All we got to do is take out this. Let me just double check to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Should just be a case of the steam should flow in there. It'll go into the steam turbines. The output of the steam turbines will go along here. Yeah, that seems fine. All right. Open it up. Let's kick these in. These ones down here might be slightly different. I think I might leave these ones connected as well. In fact, I might leave... I was just thinking, at the moment, we're actually able to keep up with the heat gain here from this venting in here. I think, though, we might have these kick in as well. Let me do a little bit more fiddling around with first. Well, these guys kick in automatically. Yeah, there we go. That gets us more power on the grid. This guy shouldn't have to spend nearly as much uptime. If we check right now, this cycle last 5 cycles, 48%. Let's see what it's like another 5 cycles. Hey, printables. Give me a builder and or constructor. Squeamish Iron Gut, Early Bird. You're not terrible, actually. We do have 2 diggers already, so 2 constructors as well. Well, 1 in training for each of those. I think a 3rd constructor would not go astray. So please welcome Jack Died. Let's hope Jack doesn't die. Unlikely. Okay, so Early Bird, Iron Gut, Squeamish, Construction and Supplying. Yeah, that's just actually perfect. You get into training already. Anyway, while all that training is ongoing, we're going to finish off a little bit of automation. This is almost complete in a very sloppy way that needs a lot of refinement, but should give us a rough piece of steam power to keep us going for a while into the future. Alright, these guys over here will only turn on if the temperature over here is above 205 degrees. So since it's above 205 degrees, these guys are dropping off water equally on this side and this side to help cool down the area, because anything above 200 is just causing us more problems than it's worth. Well, not more problems than it's worth, it's just inefficient sending it through the steam turbines. Anything over 200 degrees is just dumping more heat into the steam turbines, which means you have to spend energy to cool it. So it's kind of wasteful. So these guys are going to keep recycle it down until it goes down to below 205. Now, this over here is set to if the temperature is above 210 degrees. Wait, below 210 degrees? It's below 210 degrees, send a green signal. Send green signal if below 210 degrees. It's not below 210 degrees. Ah. There we go. There was a switch there. I forgot about that one. That one was automatically overriding line. That was a short-term thing. So now, anytime these turn on, and the temperature in here is above 210, they will have all of their water shunted down here instead. Well, okay, once the backlog fills up there. They'll get shunted down here, sent over to both sides, and help cool down the space even more. So we should get it quickly below 210 degrees. Then these guys will keep trading it down to about 205. Oh, they're just working flat out. Interesting. So that means they have baseline power so long as we're above 215, whatever in there. Huh. Nice. Yeah. Now, we need to put in an override switch to help out. You see, the thing is, the amount of water we put in here from this section is not going to fill this entirely before we drain all the steam out of here. So what we want to do is just jump in enough water to put us over the top. For that, we're just going to use your good old-fashioned Atmo sensor. Why is Atmo sensor not under ventilation? I feel like, you know what, we'll just go to automation. It's definitely under there. Yeah, there we go. Give me an Atmo sensor. We'll put it about here, and I'm going to need a bunch of automation wire, aren't I? This system is way too complicated. I need to figure out how to slim this down, but later. For now, what we've got here is just Atmo sensor. If the pressure in here falls below 20 kilos of pressure, that means we're starting to run out of steam. At that point, it will send an automation signal over here to this liquid valve. This liquid valve will allow water from this pump to go up here and get dumped into the geothermal heat pump. That should top up any remaining few hundred kilos or so that are required to get it up to the 100% pressure, at which point it will start emitting in here again. That will put the pressure up above 20 kilos, at which point this steam vent will then shut off the flow of water. And it should stabilize quite quickly. I mean, we'll probably have a little bit too much on the first run or too little or something along those lines, but after, a few thousand cycles, it'll be grand. There'll be no worries on that front. That should keep everything here at the right temperature, and maybe, a few temperature shift plates might help. There's that annoying aquatuner in the corner that's kind of driving up the temperature in here just a scooch. And a little bit of a checkerboard pattern in there, and done. That should spread out the temperature quite nicely. Granite's not great, but it's cheap and plentiful. We could also have used diamond, actually, considering the amount that's down there. Alright, so we have secured enough power that we can handily run all the stuff we have. We have secured food using these floxes, and, well, there's an awful lot of meat coming in as well. Oh, and you'll notice some of these are dying off just too quickly. Problem is, a whole bunch of these are made at the same time, so suddenly they all die off at the same time, which makes stocking them up just a little bit wonky. This only happened the first run through. After we get the next time we run through these guys, they'll be more spread out because, well, they're getting spread out now. I could also rope maybe a few of these. You're tame and what are you? You're 84? Yeah, you know what? We'll take you in for just a little bit. And what age are you? You're 64? Go for it. Top up those ranches just a little bit so we keep those eggs flowing. We're starting to sort of run low on that souffle pancakes. I was kind of hoping that wouldn't happen. We got sweet wheat grain. Actually, we've eaten through a lot of sweet wheat grain. I think we just need more eggs. It's fine. It's fine. And over here, our 4 duplicants are running in perfect unison. Under skills, we can find Jack here has athletics of 1, machinery of 3. That's pretty terrible. Jack here is athletics of 2, machinery of 3. Golden Master, athletics of 5, machinery of 8. And Extradon, athletics of 7, machinery of 12. As well as that, if you have a passion in, say, machinery, and you're doing a machinery task, it allows you to skill up that skill faster. So I presume suit wearing would boost athletics? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I could find anything that boosted athletics training in the past, but they might have modified things. They changed lots of little things, and I never really noticed. Let's install some wood around here. I think it'll make the place just that little bit nicer. We'll probably do the same in the bedrooms as well. And why is there water in the bedrooms? Oh. Yeah, stuff's melting in there. People were saying, why don't we get rid of the stoves? Well, I mean, we could, but it just doesn't seem right. They sort of still need a little bit. People will pop over them occasionally, even with their warm coats. Depending on how cold the area is, it's not perfect. And we might want to make these high priority. I don't know. They're doing them. I was just worried they might leave a hole in the floor and break the room so that someone doesn't get the bonus when they're using it. Let's see how that decor glow is doing on. Actually, not that bad. There's still a bunch of dirt and stuff lying about the place, but it's still not terrible. Well, give us some wood all the way along there, and there. The rest of it I'm not too worried about. Actually, no. Here I am a little bit worried that might melt. You know what? Give me a minute to just wood up a few places. Much better. We still have a few tiles that might break here and there, but I'm going to worry about them in a minute. For now, I want to get one quick project done because we're running out of time, and there's new printables. Narcoleptic, no thank you. Actually, no. Construction, medicine, creativity. No, it's just they've only got one positive and all the rest are pretty nasty negatives, and these guys only have one skill in each. I used to love getting someone with animal husbandry 12, but since you can now train that skill, that's not worth it. So, curative tablets, please. Over here, we have this carbon dioxide vent, but it overpressurizes at about 50 kilos. So what I'm going to do is expand this out so that we can store more carbon dioxide. For that, we're going to need to put down some plumbing over here. Give me a bottle emptier. Actually, mercury. Why not? 2 tiles of mercury right there should give us a perfect liquid lock, and then we'll dig it open. Ooh. Just realized something. How do we... You see, I'm trying to think how we open this up without flooding this area with the mercury. We might need to seal someone in here. Might be possible. Might be. Chili Peeps, get back here for a second, buddy. Nope. Gonna need you to move in here. Then what we're gonna do is give me some Maffic rock. Put that Maffic rock right there. Chili Peeps, I would like you to make it. That kind of works. Why is there... Give me another Maffic rock right there. Yeah, I know. You can't breathe. Don't worry. We got you covered, buddy. We got you covered. Deconstruct. Deconstruct. There we go. Come on. Whew. Now, move to here. How much have we got left? We got plenty of Maffic rock left. Now, give me that right there. Perfect. Deconstruct. Deconstruct. And you're golden. Okay, well, you're breathing some polluted oxygen, but it's fine. It's fine. You did excellent. That kept this whole place completely... forget about here. No, 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 we can make this work. We can make this work. People are going to have to hold their breath a little bit. There's going to be a bit of an annoyance that way. Someone might sweep up that water, in fact. Let's not let that water spread any further. And then we're going to squish out those gases from top to bottom. Ugh, and I just realized something. Probably should have done this slightly differently. Like, I should be walling in the bottom to make sure none of this stuff escapes. Yeah, something along those lines. It's just we want to make sure we don't have to dig out these blocks at a later date, so we might as well cover our bases. So we'll pop those ones out diagonally without letting any of the gases escape. With this installed, we can store all the necessary carbon dioxide to produce oxygen. And yes, now that I've said that out loud, it does sound stupid. So once we have excavated this out, we'll have lots of hundreds of kilos of carbon dioxide that we can store up. That carbon dioxide then gets fed down here as necessary to the crops. And that makes sure our crops don't stifle like they're doing over here, because I haven't been paying attention to this. There is one over here, and it's a very simple setup. This detects whether there is carbon dioxide. If there is carbon dioxide, then it goes to a NOT gate. The NOT gate makes sure that it flips it from a green to a red so that we can shut doors and things like that. And then we have a filter gate. Filter gate makes sure that it waits for 5 seconds, so it has to detect it for 5 seconds that there's basically no carbon dioxide near it, and then it'll go, okay, since there's no carbon dioxide for 5 seconds, it's probably not just a blob of oxygen. Turn on the gas vent and flood this place with more carbon dioxide. And then we'll put another one over here, and we'll put another one, say, there. Very, very simple setup. Gas element center, carbon dioxide, NOT gate, 5-second filter gate. Done. And I've made these all out of lead. I've shipped a little bit of lead to up here. In fact, I'm going to fill that up with lead if at all possible. I'm going to replace all the power wiring in the core of the base that's all iron with lead, because lead's cheap. We're not going to have using high temperature stuff here, and all of that iron is more useful turned into steel or used in higher temperature environments. This is now... yeah, we're not going to get any stifling crops here anymore. This should keep pumping the stuff in. Then over here, we now have a much, much larger carbon dioxide area. And this place is completely drained, except for this tank. What are you? Fluid oxygen, some like 1.7 kilos of carbon dioxide, 276 kilos of oxygen, 20 kilos of hydrogen, and 46 grams of polluted oxygen. I should pop you at some point, but not just yet. Alright, so this is all of the carbon dioxide we've got our hands on, and we should probably analyze that. I'd like to know when it's going dormant. One other quick project I'd really like to get done super quick. These guys over here, these nectar trees. I want to try and grab as much of that stuff as I can. So once these are hooked up, what, it just automatically siphons it out? That's amazing. How long does it take for them to fill back up, or how much do they generate? Like, does it have to go up to a kilo before it'll spit it out? Okay, so it's more than a kilo. Well, in that case, let's just keep going anyway. Yep, over there, over there, over there. This is probably all going to get messed up when the first storm comes through, but it's I'm willing to give this a go. I mean, worst case scenario, we get a bunch of this stuff for later, and I'm not going after the ones down there. Too much effort. And, oh, yeah, all the piping's done. And why? Why are you doing that? There's a bathroom right there. What? Maybe I need another one. Yeah, like I suppose sometimes some of them are going to get clogged. Say, we'll put you over there, we'll delete one sink. True, we'll have 4 outhouses, but in general, we should always have at least 3 operational. I can't really move these over to water-based ones because the water would freeze in the pipes. Could use insulated pipes, but then it's still going to generate heat, and then I'd have to sieve the water. No. I'm just going to stick with outhouses, even though it's annoying. And we're losing out on 1 morale point as well. And there's some physical labor that goes into making that work, which is also annoying, but... oh my god, why? What? No, the door's right there. You can totally get in there. Why? I feel like sometimes they're just messing with me. Also, as an aside, all of the polluted ice that we collect from now on shall be stored down here in this minus 56 degree area to make sure it doesn't melt anymore. And how are we looking on Nectar? We got 2 tons right there. And up top in our liquid tank, we have 485 kilos already. This drains it quite nicely. Not seeing any out in the line, but I would really like to build large farms of this. Not domesticated. Domesticated, no. 100 kgs of snow, there's just there's not enough. That's enough snow, according to my calculator, to keep, what is it, 20 trees alive for 41 cycles? No, 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 no. That's not nearly enough. We'd probably have to use some sort of ice machine to make more. And no, no. I think while planting with pips, we definitely have pips down the bottom. And then yeah, we got a pip down here or two. Then we use those pips to plant a whole bunch of them up here, and we can basically use sunlight. Oh, we'd have to put in a meteor defense system as well. Okay, that would require a lot of steel. Okay, that'll be further on down the track, but we could definitely automate a large farm of that for some reason. I'm sure we'll come up with a reason for why we need it, but for now, we've managed to sort our power needs for the intermediate future. We basically have a sustainable 850 watts from all 5 of those that would never stop. Assuming we just dump some extra water in here, it will just keep going and going and going. And we definitely have plenty of water for now, and I think we can add in more. I'm thinking we take this oil and we move it over here all the way to the right, and then we flood this entire area with the saltwater geyser. We turn this into a liquid tank for that saltwater geyser, and then we can use that saltwater geyser to top up this geothermal pump whenever we need it. That should solve this forever. Then this thing over here, I want to tap into that one, do the same build as we've got over there, maybe slightly modify it. This third one we can't do until we fill up this with something that will melt it. I think for that we're probably going to go with mercury. Yeah, this stuff over here, we can heat that up quite high, dump it in at say 200 degrees, and one load of that should clear out the system and we can use all 3. We don't need to use all 3, but I want the achievement. It's the only achievement I don't have an oxygen included, and once we get that, then I can start using mods and things like that. You can't nail the achievements if you've got the mods active. Food-wise and oxygen-wise, I think this works out fine. Food has still been going up, though barbecue has now overtaken souffle pancakes. I think we have too many people for the souffle pancakes, but barbecue's fine. Then the alveol viras down here are definitely providing more than enough oxygen. We're up to 84 tons of oxalate. And carbon dioxide-wise, with this in play, we now have more than enough... Oh, that's analysis is complete. Next dormancy period, 71.7 seconds. Yeah, we have more than enough carbon dioxide in here to keep this running between its active and dormancy phases. And the only other things we need are phosphorite for the farm tiles and ethanol for the hydroponics. We have 53 tons of phosphorite, and ethanol-wise we have this pool plus another pool down here to keep those running. So I think we're stable. We have like several hundred cycles to not have to worry about stuff. And we have 4 more duplicants in training, and I think 3 more will be arriving shortly afterwards, depending on how how Randy rolls for us. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out here for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck.